Monday the 21st. The furthest point into the future we've ever reached. I heard they arrested one of the Phantom Thieves. No way. I didn't expect him to commit suicide.
He's a murderer. He deserved to die.
We can finally breathe easy. Wow, we can finally breathe easy now. He killed himself, huh? I guess we'll never know his motivation. Akechi is bae. Oh my. After school evening. I'm exhausted. It feels like my consciousness is about to fade away.
Hey, are you alright? Don't fall asleep until we reach our destination.
Yeah, I'll try. Hold on, didn't the drug wear off? Why are we so tired now? Could this be the effect of the drug wearing off? The memories I thought were gone are starting to come back. Okay, I guess we didn't know everything yet. I am.
Anyway, we need to talk about how to get out of this situation.
Futaba's monitoring of Akechi's phone has confirmed it. He did indeed have an ulterior motive.
It's on a completely different level than just that.
Not only was he trying to frame us, but he was the true culprit behind the mental shutdowns. His offer to assist us was simply a ploy to frame the Phantom Thieves and kill him. If we go into Sis's palace as he suggests, we'll likely be met by a large ambush of police forces.
We'll just have to make our comeback around it then.
To think he would be this far gone. I know now what it means to feel a chill down my spine. Furthermore, he wishes to bring a police squad from reality into the palace.
If the 8 of us can enter at once, it's not inconceivable to think a larger group is possible.
Yeah, I mean, how many times have we accidentally dragged someone into the metaverse with us? It happened with her, it happened with... I feel like it happened with someone else besides On, but now I don't remember. Actually, it might have just been On. And no, it was just On, wasn't it? We should have probably dragged passerbys into it more than that, but that's the only story time it happened.
He may even be able to bring in vehicles or other special pieces of equipment.
So, this really was just a setup to shift the blame onto us.
He made us go after Okumura. Then once we triggered the change of heart, he killed him. And he told us he had seen the true culprit, but it was him the entire time!
I mean, technically speaking, that's not a lie. If there was a mirror or something, he did see the true culprit.
The whole time he was working with Makoto's sister, he was really just some homicidal maniac. Come on, we gotta take that bastard Akechi down. Isn't that recording we got enough proof to do it?
No. Akechi is merely a tool. His orders come from elsewhere. The grand mastermind behind this all.
Akechi's a problem, but he's not our only problem. Maybe we can make use of him.
An unimaginable fiend capable of arranging the murder of a suspect inside of a police station.
Unless we find out who that is, we will continue being targeted even if we defeat Akechi.
But what means do we have of learning his identity?
We'll have to make Akechi say it. Though once we do, that mastermind will likely eliminate us.
Oh yeah, we still had his phone bugged when he said Shido, didn't we?
I think that will be the case eventually, regardless of whether or not we learn his identity. The only reason it hasn't happened yet is because we're an easy target to blame for his crimes. If he realizes that's no longer possible and abandons that plan, he may opt to kill us immediately.
Damn it! So we don't got a choice but to go with that bastard's suggestion.
But if we go into the palace like we're told, he'll get arrested, and then Akechi will kill him.
I feel like we're getting a lot of this information in reverse. Like, we saw the ending, and now we're all the way back to the beginning after going through the middle stuff.
Palace. The palace.
Actually, there's something I'd like to say regarding...
Aha! We can use the palace to our advantage!
Is that what Makoto was already going to say? Or did
What's this all
Makoto have
of a
something else in mind?
There's a way. A way to get past Akechi and get the mastermind to lay off of us, all while learning his identity. Really?
Yeah, we let Akechi kill us.
You gotta be kidding me.
If he wants to kill the guy, why not let him? That is, inside of a palace.
Yes, we could have him kill the cognitive version, all the while believing he killed the real one.
Yeah, that's it!
It seems that's our only option. Listen close, everyone. I have a plan for how we can carry this operation out.
Okay, and we already know the whole plan now, just in reverse.
Ever since the death of their teenage leader, the Phantom Thieves have fallen silent. However, the police intend on continuing this investigation until the case is fully solved.
I'm sorry I'm late. I had to finish a few things at work. Where are they?
Okay, I was gonna say I really hope we read Sojiro into this.
Waiting upstairs. Go tell him to come on down. I'm gonna fetch him.
You're her sister, correct?
Oh yeah, this is our first time actually meeting Sai in person.
Makoto told me everything. Futaba-chan, I'm sorry that I caused you so much trouble this past summer.
It's ancient history now.
Man, that goddamn detective.
Look who's here.
Hello, Phantom Thieves!
Hey, you big bastard.
Hey, we're not dead, yay!
How have you been?
I mean, I died. Ghostly. I mean, I died, so I don't know.
You must be fine if you're joking around like that.
It truly is a relief to see your face.
I bet that moron Akechi don't even know we tricked him yet.
Still, how'd you pull this off?
Do you want the short version or the long version? And do you want your mind to melt?
Isn't this guy considered dead?
You weren't told anything? I heard my sister brought him here, though.
Yeah, she came over in a taxi, dumped him off, and told me to keep him safe.
Really, Sai? Really?
It was right after they announced he had died, too. Almost gave me a heart attack.
Or Sojiro, we didn't tell him anything.
I didn't have time to explain.
Hey, shouldn't we tell boss what really happened?
We wanted to make our enemy believe the leader of the Phantom Thieves was dead.
What?
Ba-da-bum-bum-bum-ba-dum-bum.
What we did was make that enemy kill his fake in the metaverse.
Hold on a sec. Enemy? Fake? What are you talking about?
Yeah, we started at the middle. Actually, we started at the end. We need to go back to the beginning.
The true culprit behind all these incidents set us up. Our goal here was to determine their identity.
True culprit? I see. So you guys were going up against someone else.
It was Goro Akechi.
Hmm.
You knew beforehand that he was the traitor, didn't you?
Yes, Akechi messed up.
Akechi himself gave us the chance to strike back. He made one fatal mistake.
Going up against the Phantom Thieves?
Couldn't you have just said from the beginning that Akechi was the real culprit?
That wasn't something we could simply bring up. We couldn't have you suspect Akechi.
We needed to make our whole thing believable.
Besides, neither you nor the other investigators would have believed something like that, would you?
True. Akechi was credited with the arrest of the Phantom Thieves. Not even I would think he was the culprit.
I mean, wouldn't that kind of be the most likely person to be the true culprit? The one to track him down and ending up killing one?
In other words, you left him alone on purpose. That was a bold move.
God, I can't keep up with any of this stuff.
Sorry, Sojiro.
Wait, so what was this mistake Akechi made? What did he do?
Oh yeah, he let it slip that he can listen to that he can hear our cat talk.
He slipped up in regards to Morgana's voice.
You mean our cat?
Yes, Morgana can talk.
Poor Sojiro.
Sorry, was that supposed to be a joke?
I mean, we can always take you into Mementos and you can actually have a conversation with him.
Oh, our apologies. That's completely true. You surprised?
Does that mean he said something just now as well?
But you don't understand him, do you? That's how it was for all of us at first, too.
When you're in the metaverse, Mona talks like a normal person. Once you hear that and your brain realizes he can actually talk, you start to understand him in reality. It's a change in cognition, most likely.
Thanks to Akechi's lame acting, we figured out something was up.
Just because Akechi wanted pancakes.
When we talked to Akechi at the school festival, he was acting like he just realized Mona could talk. But we already saw him drop a mega hint about it way earlier.
Oh, I know a place! I want to go to that huge pancake-looking place we passed on the way here!
Oh, am I mistaken? I thought I heard something about delicious pancakes.
Mona was the only one who was talking about a pancake. That meant Akechi'd already been in the metaverse by then.
And since he was lying to us about that, we assumed he had a hidden motive behind contacting us.
It seemed odd upon further thought. His reaction to my pancake comment was an honest one, after all.
Mm-hmm. His story was too good. His story was too good.
He did approach us when we found ourselves in the worst trouble yet. That's why we asked Futaba-chan to wiretap his phone.
I pretended to be interested in checking the phone out, but I was actually planting my app.
I mean, yeah, that scene was fun, but come on, of course Futaba has the newest thing.
My heart was pounding while I was doing it, though.
Oh.
Even that ace detective could never have imagined a program being installed so quickly. Futaba's quirky nature proved to be a great help.
Look who's talking.
That was just an act! After a few days of listening, this confirmed his betrayal.
Then I'll guide the police into her palace and have them catch the Phantom Thieves in the act. That would be the only way to arrest them, given their methods. I'll deal with them after that. Let me see. We could say he stole the guard's gun and committed suicide during his imprisonment. How about that? Public security questioning will occur on the first day. And with that room, my task will be simple.
Mm-hmm.
Is this for real?
Yes, the guard will be one of ours.
Yes, it's
We'll
for real.
have to eliminate him after to destroy the evidence, though.
So they planned to get rid of that guard from the beginning.
Hmm? You saved his life, Sai. Congratulations.
Well then, I will make the arrangements the day after the arrest.
I mean, he probably wasn't in much danger besides, but you did save his life, probably.
And thus, the dangerous criminal responsible for the mass mental shutdowns shall end his own life.
I 100% believe they probably intend to take down more people via mental shutdown, though. So, what's their story then?
When he does, you will become a great hero who saved Japan from evil. As will I, of course.
I knew he was acting strangely, but to think he was this far gone.
Funnily enough.
He's no ace detective. Akechi is the perpetrator behind the mental shutdown crimes.
Mm-hmm. Yet somehow Sai has a palace, but Akechi doesn't.
On top of that, there's someone else commanding Akechi. Someone with great authority. So great that they can order an assassination in a police station. That's why we had to make a move before they did.
I see.
We're going over a lot of the same information multiple times. Like, I feel like we've heard most of this like 4 times now, and we're just keep reiterating it for characters in game. When that's kind of not necessary, really. I don't know.
We baited Akechi into Sis's palace, making him dispose of our leader's fake, but think he killed him.
Can you elaborate on that in more detail? What exactly happened in my cognitive world?
We're sorry for using you without your permission. Your palace had all the conditions we needed.
What
Yeah.
conditions?
I want to know, what was with the back rooms? Just looking exactly
First,
like they
we
should.
required a place inside the cognitive world that was the same as in reality.
Yeah, I guess the police station next door didn't change much. It was still
That place
the same.
is based on the real world after all. Anywhere that's not warped looks just like normal.
That's why nobody but the person who uses the nav even realizes they're in the metaverse.
Back with Kamoshida, we came in from the station without even noticing.
That brings back memories. Not till we got to school. Not till we got to the school and
You
saw it
totally
different.
can't tell the difference if there ain't any distortions around.
We had already investigated Nijima-san's palace when Makoto brought the suggestion to us.
Hmm?
I was seriously impressed by that suggestion. To be honest, I didn't quite understand it, but I went along with it.
But, it was a great idea.
Yeah, it's good we have her heading up our operations.
Makoto is normally so calm as well, but once her mind is set, she gets oddly impulsive.
I did have a bit of a rivalry forming with Akechi.
Couldn't tell.
But I just couldn't contain myself anymore once you became a target, sis. The reason I joined the Phantom Thieves was to heal your heart, after all.
My own achievements were all that mattered to me. I was desperate. I wasn't myself at all.
I'm actually curious. Did we give her the full change of heart? Or did she manage to change her own heart after she heard our story?
I'm sorry I couldn't see that.
That goes for the both of us. We heard from Mako-chan that you were going to do the interrogation, Nijima-san.
And regarding its location, I take it you used the data from my laptop?
Yeah, sorry about that.
I'm sorry.
Go on.
There were two things we were able to confirm while we were checking the metaverse. First, our clothes didn't change when we were down in the interrogation room.
I guess in that room we're considered caught fugitives and not culprits on the run.
Second, the scenery and details outside of the palace proper were the same as in the real world.
Once we heard that from Makoto, we secretly went to check it out without Akechi knowing.
There was also one more thing we absolutely needed to make this work. A perfect cognitive replica of him in the metaverse's interrogation room.
That required us actually getting caught.
Since he had yet to be caught, though, there obviously wouldn't be anyone in that room.
Once we saw the casino guests and police officers, we were convinced this would work. They looked no different from actual living people.
We just needed to be into the real world, and then our fake version should be in the fake world. That was all it
After
took.
that, we just had to work our way into the palace like usual, while keeping Akechi in the dark.
Bum 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 ba bum 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 bum.
Everything went as planned up until we defeated Sis's shadow.
Up until, so something
However,
happened?
It was then that we were met with a terrifying, unexpected police ambush.
Okay, so there were more police than we were
As a
expecting?
result, even though we managed to grab the treasure, we couldn't get it out of the metaverse.
Doesn't that work in our favor? Because that means that the police station was still there in the metaverse? Wouldn't it have disappeared?
Except that was all an act.
Okay.
We had prepared an empty briefcase beforehand, and merely acted like we were taking the treasure. This was because we knew the police would be coming for us.
Okay, so I hit the nail on the head. That's exactly what they wanted us to think.
We made sure before the operation that the police would be waiting to ambush us. And just as expected, he totally took the bait.
Him getting captured by the police went exactly how we planned it.
And I had been interrogating him with no knowledge of this.
I still feel like we're going over a lot of the same stuff again.
But how did you lure Akechi into this cognitive world's interrogation room?
The phone.
All I needed were the coordinates.
Sweat drops. It seems like she used this laptop to remotely access the metaverse. What is this picture? Asking her about it now would drag the conversation on too long. I should talk to her later.
Akechi disposed of the fake in the palace and left thinking he had been victorious.
What are with these new pictures?
It must have been truly hilarious for our leader who sat idly in the real world's interrogation room. Surely he was acting quite cocky by himself in that quiet chamber.
I mean, did you see our leg crossed and the look on our face? Yes, we were.
So that's why you gave me your phone. I only took it because of what you told me.
It's a shame I didn't have the opportunity to see that for myself.
I couldn't see it either. There was no time. I'm just glad I didn't die. I couldn't see it either.
All I could do was try to handle all the messages that started coming to me on his phone. Huh. So in other words, I've been to the metaverse, albeit for a brief moment.
In our experience, there is little danger when someone enters their own palace for so short a time.
In our experience is literally one example of it.
That's the other reason we had him give it to you. We needed you to listen to Alibaba, deceive the guard, and ultimately aid in his escape. By having you head back to the interrogation room, we could return you to the real world as well.
Okay.
I mean, I had to think of some way to keep you from running into Akechi mid-assassination.
Huh. Astounding. I hadn't the slightest idea that such a grand operation was taking place within me.
I'm so glad he was able to persuade you during the interrogation.
Yeah.
Even though we knew Akechi's plan, we were pretty worried about that part.
Yeah, it's not like we had a full 128 episodes. What episode is this now? I think 128 sounds about right. Let me double check that. 126. This is 126. 127 maybe. It doesn't really matter. Why am I so worried? This is 127. It's not like we had a whole 127 episodes worth of flash forwards to that very moment in that conference room trying to convince her to aid us. What are you talking about?
True.
Why is that?
Without Sis on our side, Futaba's plan and subsequent breakout would have never been possible.
And we would be dead.
That persuasion was easily our greatest gamble. We couldn't consult Sis beforehand. It was absolutely the make or break moment of the entire plan.
Still, I'm surprised you could convince me in such a short time. Were you confident you could do it?
It's so weird that this whole thing was like 5 minutes in universe when it's literally been like 7 months, I think, or something like that in real world. It's been so long since we've started this game in real life, and it's so short amount of time in here. Don't remember drugs. I was.
I see. Either way, I can't believe you went for such a risky idea.
No risk, no reward, huh?
If we could just tell you the true culprit's plan, I knew you'd realize the bigger picture. Realize that our leader was telling the truth, and that there was a greater evil to pursue.
As a result, we emerged victorious.
Then the reason you kept this a secret from me was so you could catch the true culprit, correct?
That's right.
Yes. Plus, you had lost control of yourself at the time.
This is stunning. All I can really do is laugh.
I've kind of figured out that you guys made Akechi kill a fake.
Poor Sojiro, he's so far behind.
What did you do about the body?
The police never even checked it.
Huh?
That's a good question.
They had a coroner working to ensure his death was reported as a suicide. That coroner didn't take one look at the scene and just passed along a falsified death certificate.
The bad guys have that much influence?
So everyone assumes, what, Akechi just grabbed the body and ran? Like,
Murder in a police station would be reckless otherwise. we also knew of a possible conspirator.
Thanks to Futaba-chan's messages and the guard's demeanor, I eventually came to understand. And since the higher-ups at the police knew nothing of this, they were thrown into disarray.
Okay.
As a result, his suicide during imprisonment was reported on the news, just as Akechi planned.
And with that confusion, he was able to escape with Nijima-san's help.
I made sure nobody would check the morgue for his body, and thanks to that, nobody knows he survived.
I feel like there's probably more to that. Like, how exactly does she know no one's looking for us?
Thinking back to the interrogation, though, I can't believe what they did to him. The callous use of violence and even drugs is utterly abnormal. If he had lost consciousness and hadn't been able to tell Sis about the phone, he would have died. I'm truly glad you made it back safe.
It was close. It was a breeze. I don't remember much. It was a close one, but we made it through in the end.
I almost became one of your assailants as well.
It still freaked me out when I saw the suicide on the news, though.
We made sure to live normal lives while he was being interrogated to avoid drawing any suspicion. Even with that, I couldn't help but worry for him in my heart.
They say that as if we were like being interrogated for like weeks on end. It was a day and a half.
Well, I knew right away that her plan worked out.
I wanted to believe, but considering what we were up against...
Ryuji's a bit on the dense and carefree side.
Can it, Cat?
I mean, is he wrong?
I had to be patient and avoid this place until things settled down. I finally feel relieved.
We knew he was alive, but it was difficult to not worry until we could confirm it in person.
Now that I think about it, my interrogation was just a formality for the head commander. What a joke, letting me interrogate someone who was meant to die. They just wanted to avoid backlash.
Oh yeah, by the way, you should probably go check on your boss. He's kinda dead.
Very well. From here forward, I will do my utmost to assist you.
Oh yeah, I still really want to know what your ability thing is.
You saved me, after all.
That's reassuring to hear.
I'll do whatever I can to help too. Just let me know.
Out of curiosity, how many people in this room are maxed out ranks? 1, 2, 3, 4. You're rank 9, you're rank 8. You're rank 7. 3. 9.
Let's take a break for now, though. This old brain is pooped. Oh, and feel free to use the first floor when you guys want to get together to talk. You'll need a hideout where you can be safe. Just say the word, and I'll close shop early.
Thank you, Sojiro. That's a very minor change going from upstairs to downstairs, but it is a very nice and appreciated one.
Are you sure?
This guy can't leave. Plus, you won't make much progress if people can hear you from downstairs. It's not like this place is the liveliest joint in town. It won't be a huge loss for me.
Okay.
Let us accept his offer. What a great man.
I'm curious how this is going to play from here, because we're apparently not going to be able to leave until things start up again, which means we're not going to be able to do confidants, and we have so many confidants I want to do. Have I reached a point of this story where I've not done enough confidants and therefore I'm not going to be able to max out the rest of them? I really hope that's not the case. I feel like I've done as many confidants as I possibly could. Summary of the story up to this point has been updated. To read, press tab to open the menu, then select story from under the system option. Mamma mia.
That sounds familiar.
It's me, Akechi.
Enter.
That's the death certificate of the principal offender, correct? Is there a problem with it?
No, nothing in particular.
More
importantly, you've done well with regard to the prosecutors.
The cause of death for the SIU director has been settled as a stroke.
I had him work quite substantially on forging evidence. His loss should be mourned.
It was thanks to his efforts that I could enter the Phantom Thieves interrogation room, too.
We should mourn the death of the dude that I had killed.
The SIU is in disarray with his death. I'll take my time choosing a successor after the elections.
At any rate, I'm now praised as a hero, and I owe it all to the Phantom Thieves.
All possible hindrances are now gone. There's no doubt that this election is mine.
Don't worry, we'll have something to say about
And
that.
on to our next story, the snap election for the House of Representatives. Discussion is swirling around potential nominees as the deadline for candidacy announcement nears. Candidates will announce on the 23rd of this month, while voting will be held on the 18th of next.
Okay, so in 2 days, I'm assuming Shido will be announced as a candidate. Obviously. We'll figure out we need to take him down, and then we'll have a month to do it.
Elections, huh? Don't matter to us. It's not like we can vote in them yet anyways.
Why don't we resume our conversation?
Well, the Phantom Thieves are back together. We can finally take it to Akechi and the bastard backing him.
Have you figured out who's behind all this?
I mean, if we kept watching the TV, maybe we would have.
Akechi accidentally let that slip after the murder. He said, Shido-san.
Shido? Feels like I've heard that somewhere.
He is unmistakably a man of power if he has such strong connections to the police.
Shido? Could it be Masayoshi Shido?
Who?
Big politician. He's been on TV. He's been everywhere. Everyone's talking about him.
I believe he's a politician. Remember, Ryuji? You said his speech was too loud.
For real?
It's certainly possible that Shido is the mastermind.
Bum-ba-da-bum-bum-bum-bum.
Do you have some kind of evidence?
Nothing material. However, there are various conditions which align with that possibility. First, he would profit from damage done to the current administration by the psychotic breakdowns. He's maintained a negative stance toward the Phantom Thieves and has gained tremendous popularity. On top of that, he'll most likely become the next Prime Minister if he wins this upcoming election.
Yeah. He's got his hands in all the right pies to be our current victim. Nope, literally the opposite of what I want to say. Perpetrator? What's the word I want to say for him? Villain. Sure.
No.
Did he set us up with that election in mind?
If he is behind all this, that would be in stark opposition to his honest public image.
So his current position and popularity is just him benefiting from the mental collapses.
We'll make him have a change of heart, no matter what it takes.
Our next target's in sight.
Mom.
Shido, huh?
Yeah, he keeps popping up on TV and you keep having a reaction, but we don't know what yet.
What is the matter?
I had a feeling he was wrapped up in all this. Just based on the connections I had from my previous job.
Question marks all
I
around.
think the one who crushed Wakaba's research and confiscated her materials was probably Shido. From the moment Wakaba died, I had a hunch he was involved. But there wasn't anything I could do, so I chose to protect Futaba and went into hiding.
Okay.
Why didn't you say that sooner?
You guys would have definitely gone after him if I had. He would have just killed all of you, no doubt. That's what he usually does to people who get in his way.
Originally,
couldn't
I
tell.
was looking into the mental shutdown cases. It was then that I accidentally stumbled upon government research regarding the psychotic breakdowns. So I tracked down the whereabouts of that research data and met with the associated parties. Boss was one of those parties.
Yeah, that explains why you were here.
I would never have imagined all of this was connected.
I love how even she's calling him boss now, though. That's pretty great.
The mental shutdowns, psychotic breakdowns, Shido, and even the Phantom Thieves' actions.
Way back when, Shido kept saying he was going to be Prime Minister one day. Nobody believed him, though.
What's going to happen to this country if Shido becomes Prime Minister? What about the world?
The issue is simpler than that.
What's going to happen to us?
This is nothing more than yet another selfish adult trying to impose his will on the public.
We gotta expose that rotten bastard!
Yeah, we'll do it like always.
Phantom Thieves, our next target's all agreed on.
Then let's check the nav.
Masayoshi Shido, the guy running for Prime Minister. Got a hit! Well, duh. It ain't a surprise he has one.
What are the keywords gonna be, though?
Where would the location be?
What kind of things go through a politician's head?
I always think of dirty money and shady actions.
What does he do? And where? We don't got a clue about this guy's life.
His palace must be somewhere that politicians frequent. Any ideas?
The Diet Building? I forgot what it was called, but this is what I was expecting.
We got a hit!
How arrogant must he be to see himself as the ruler of the Diet Building?
He's not even Prime Minister yet, and he already thinks like that.
Our next target's the big shot politician Masayoshi Shido. We're gonna do this, right?
We have to.
Hell yeah!
Now we
Nobody
just
against it?
Now we just need our second keyword.
Of course.
He will be a worthy opponent.
Let's win this together.
Time for revenge.
Then it's unanimous.
Makoto didn't say anything,
All
but
we gotta do now is figure out what he thinks that Diet Building place is.
So that's the app that allowed me to enter the metaverse.
Yep.
An old fart like me can't wrap his head around all this stuff.
We'll have to deal with this before Election Day, December 18th. That means we need it done by the 17th.
Okay, our date is set and our target is
It's best
set.
we hurry before they discover there's no body in the morgue.
Should we start tomorrow then? We can meet at the Diet Building after school.
That reminds me, what are you gonna do about school? You can't show up if you're supposed to be dead.
Miss Kawakami said he went back home for family reasons.
Okay.
That's what I told the school.
Don't let him find out you're alive then, alright? This whole thing would be for nothing.
What do you mean?
Oh?
This operation had another purpose outside of escaping Akechi's clutches.
Who else are we trying to hide from?
Shido tried to place all the blame on the Phantom Thieves and deceive the public at the same time. He has ruined countless lives, and even made Goro Akechi, a student, assist him with assassinations. A mere change of heart is too lenient a sentence for such an abominable criminal.
What are we planning?
We'll be making use of the police statement that the leader of the Phantom Thieves committed suicide. Our leader, who is presumed dead, will come out of hiding to deliver a grand statement. He'll say he has escaped prison, not committed suicide, and was in fact almost killed by a criminal.
Everyone's gonna flip.
Oh, Futaba's for this.
You guys thought through all this stuff too?
We're intellectuals, you know.
Well, some of us are. Ryuji's just along for the ride.
That's why you needed such a daring trick as getting captured and appearing to be killed. What frightening teenagers.
But the true battle has only just begun. We won the first round, but we must stay on our toes.
Yeah, this ain't the time to be celebrating.
These people tried to trap and kill us. There is no end to their inhuman, conniving nature. We will need to be prepared for whatever may come our way.
Okay, so we have just about 1 month to prepare and make sure we know exactly what we're getting into. And it's time for the big reveal that we are back and ready for action. And from there, we'll take him down.
I finally made it this far. It's already been 2.5 years since we met.
Back then, you earned the media's attention as a young politician who could rise up against bureaucracy. Because of that, those who wanted to preemptively deal with problems tried to tie you up in scandal.
To think I would fall for the ruse schemed by those decrepit fools in power. I recall that's when you came to me. You promoted yourself saying you had special powers.
Okay, so Akechi's known about the metaverse long before we ever did.
If it wasn't for the research on cognition that I dabbled in, I would have thought you insane.
I made those troublesome opponents psychotic, and erased any trace of that scandal.
Who'd think that tampering with a person's heart could trigger a psychotic lapse or mental shutdown? And when someone like that said he'd support me, I had suspected there'd be an ulterior motive.
It's because I sympathized with your aspiring ideology.
Oh.
I believed that your ideals needed to be achieved for the sake of the country's future.
Well, my faith in you was precisely why I pulled the plug on that research. I only need you using that power. It'd be troublesome if someone else uncovered how it works.
I'm enjoying learning more about the story, but I feel like they went a little too heavy-handed with the exposition here. Like, this has just been going, and this is all new stuff, but it's sort of been repeating itself for a while now. We're just so far into this already.
Wakaba Ishiki, was it? That researcher. She wouldn't have had to die if she just complied.
Any suspicions should be snubbed out. Even the smallest doubt must be severed at the root.
Official confirmation that Akechi killed Futaba's mom,
After
too.
all, we had an active public prosecutor's office director on our side, until recently.
Astounding, isn't it? To think the director himself often forged evidence to secure his promotion. He was quite surprised when you confronted him about it. He didn't know who leaked that information. Well, I got that out of his shadow, so technically speaking, he did it himself.
Okay.
This country's affairs have become stagnant. The political world is filled with old men who only act to preserve their own vested interests.
What are you doing if not exactly
The
that?
public has forsaken such political affairs and don't even bother. Only ruin awaits us.
I must agree.
There's no need to be ruined along with such incompetent fools. I will lead this country to its revival.
All those old folks only caring about themselves, opposed to me, who also only cares about myself. But I'm different for some reason.
Those who get in the way must be eliminated at times. That's the correct way to use the metaverse.
Still, it would stand out if there were continuous deaths and scandals with your political rivals. Which is why I made them suspects. Prosecute the targets that I turn psychotic, and solve them as cases unrelated to you.
Yeah, we're going a little bit heavy-handed with the exposition here, game.
And thus, the charismatic ace detective was born.
Thanks to your efforts, my clean image remains untarnished, and I've monopolized public opinion. Once I gained public sentiment, collaborators from all sectors began approaching me on their own. The police were no exception. With their management in my pocket, keeping them in check was easy.
When the Phantom Thieves emerged, I thought things might become somewhat troublesome.
And they were just brats once we looked into it. All we needed to do was lay the blame on them.
When you told me that, I knew then that you were the better man.
Their popularity was a bit beyond my expectations, but flipping it made the negative press stronger.
Yeah, these two are bad people, and they keep making people have shutdowns, and they keep misusing. Yeah, and they keep abusing people. I think we got enough of this exposition like 20 minutes ago.
After that, all I had to do was openly berate them. I've been gaining more supporters since. The current administration is dead with ongoing scandals. Never mind the fact that they're my doing. Even the government parties have begun splitting up, and they're dissolving just as planned. The time has finally come. Just a little more, and I will take the seat of Prime Minister. However, inauguration isn't my goal. That's when everything truly begins.
Oh.
I'll make this country rich for the sake of its selfish and ignorant masses who can only rely on others.
In other words, you're creating a powerful country that can compete with the world.
Sure, he's got noble goals.
My ideals and follows me. And for that, some sacrifices can't be avoided. That is my duty as the chosen one.
Oh my.
Your assistance has been very influential in making my plans proceed smoothly. When I become Prime Minister, I'll grant whatever wish you want.
With this most recent case, my name has become known across the country, perhaps even the world.
This dude really believes he's the chosen one, huh?
Surely my story will be passed down as a hero who won against monsters that could control people's hearts. I believe I'll lay low and devote myself to my studies.
I suppose with your age, you wouldn't come up with debauched desires.
I am thinking about the future, though.
Oh?
Well, how do I put this?
Looks like things have finally settled down. Life's gonna get real busy for you starting tomorrow, right? Get some rest.
Well then.
The chief's right. Let's take it easy for today. Okay. So, that's gonna be the end of this episode. This is probably where we're gonna take our break then, isn't it? I typically take a break after we beat each palace before going into the next big event for the next palace. So, tomorrow will probably be a scratch and itch, if itch wants to work and if I can find a game. Last time I went to do a scratch and itch, it didn't work. I don't know. I enjoyed most of this. They got a little too heavy-handed with the exposition there. They just had like a 30-minute conversation between Akechi and Shido that our characters shouldn't know about. We shouldn't know all of that at once. It probably should have been spaced out better. And also, why? They wanted this surprise villain Shido that we've known since after Kamoshida. Like, we first saw him after Kamoshida. We probably should have known he was going to be the big bad villain eventually at the end. Otherwise, maybe get some of this exposition spread out so it's not all just 30-minute block right here for no real reason. I don't know. Anyways, Sai's heart's been changed. I don't think we actually changed her heart. I think she changed her own heart, because, I mean, we had to keep the treasure in the palace in order to keep the palace running. Unless someone went back in and grabbed it afterwards. But it seems like we didn't need to. Anyways, we're gonna pop in a save here. We'll return to Persona 5 after a scratch and itch tomorrow, and then we're returning to Tensura Reincarnated for a little bit more Minecraft. It's been a couple of weeks, 3 weeks or something like that since then. So we'll see what's going on then. But for right now, I want to thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed as much as I have, and I hope to see you next time. So without further ado, take care, everybody. Oh my goodness, I'm silly. I was about to close down the game. I completely forgot to check a thing. Where? Why was I here? Oh, Judgment. Blah. The prosecutor. That's what she's called in here. I pressed the wrong button. I completely forgot to look at this. True justice. Cooperate as comrades who fight for justice and seek the truth. That's it? No other info? Just telling me true justice who's gonna side with us? That's a little sad. Is there not more to it? 1 second. Okay, apparently true justice doesn't actually do anything on its own. Apparently, though, it's, it kind of there is a symbol that we're going to be getting one of the good or true endings. So that's a good thing. That means we're on track for what we're after out of the game, so I suppose it's not that bad. Anyways, for real now, take care, everybody.